How did you realize that you needed new friends? I didn't realize that I need new friends. I realized I don't need any. I got constantly bugged about not texting, calling back immediately, constantly being asked to go out on weekends or movie nights, etc. It was exhausting, having fights because of people not being able to accept a no. I'm content with being alone, indulging myself in my hobbies. Some people might think that's unhealthy. I have my family around me, do stuff with my sister, which is always a little holiday for both of us. My so and I share moments of complete silence, like sitting next to each other, one reading a book, one browsing Reddit, and it's completely fine. I don't need the silence filled with constant activities or noise. Took me a while to realize this. I like your lifestyle. I can completely agree and relate that for me to be happy I don't need friends. The problem with those kinds of friends is that they don't understand that you can be friends without having to be in constant contact. I had friends like this and cut them all off because they were borderline controlling and did not respect when I said no to something or mentioned that as an introvert I need my alone time. At some point around my early mid-20s I just didn't have friends anymore. The only person I interact with on a daily basis would be my girlfriend, but outside of her, everything just kind of drifted. I'm not an antisocial person either. I'm happy to go out, have a few drinks, and engage in conversation with people I've never met, but for whatever reason no one really seems to make it past the acquaintance stage, aside from coworkers, and I tend to feel that they don't really count, because the majority of our bond is based on work. When one of them leaves, it's like they fell off the face of the earth. Just an odd social dilemma, honestly, and I'm not really sure what to do about it. I don't really have any words of wisdom about this, but just wanted to say you're not alone. I've been feeling this way since my late teens and always felt so isolated in this mindset. So, again, not sure it means anything, but it was insightful to see I'm not the only person on earth who feels this way, and hope you feel the same. 4th grade. I had transferred to a new school and really missed my friends back from public school and hated it at the new place. I especially missed hanging out with my best friend at the time. The new school was too posh and lonely and I just didn't fit in there, but I still loved going over to my bestie's house, even if the sleepovers were becoming less and less common and we weren't seeing each other as much, and she started hanging out with other girls from her school instead, until she didn't even have the guts to call me herself when she had her mom call my mom and tell her that she wouldn't be coming to my birthday party because another girl was having a birthday party and she had decided to do that one instead. I was so massively butthurt that I basically excommunicated her after that, and it's not like she made an attempt to make up for it anyway. BIEIEIEIH, we had matching pebbles and Bam Bam best friends necklaces. Didn't that mean anything to you? They laughed at me for making music. Honestly, that's just a natural life lesson. That's an indicator to change and attempt to make music in a new way. Don't hold them in contempt for giving you advice. At least they aren't hyping you up and lying. You are to attach to their reaction and not to the actual art of creating new and better music. When they start to have orgasms, react physically in awe, or request to listen again, that means you're on the right path. Life gives us answers, but you must be willing to face those answers. Yeah man, that's true. What I didn't like, however, is that they were saying it behind my back, making fun of me to other people. I changed my music and evolved my sound a lot. New people I've shown have actually given me really good reactions. They listen to some of my tracks without me showing them and ask me to send it to them, actually release it. When I escaped a dead-end job and started my own business, and instead of rooting for me, it seemed like they wanted me to fail. For some reason I get this from my family. My friends are the only supportive ones that think my worm farm is a good idea. Worm farms will turn you into a billionaire, just like Jeff Bezos. My friend didn't have the time to launch into starting a worm farm with his friends, but he helped them with a 15% contribution stake in the startup idea, and now it's an 8-figure company. Go get it. That is so typical. Some time ago I saw a question, something along the lines of, why do you support already rich and famous celebrities by buying everything they make, but don't support an actual friend with just a like on their page? Really makes you think. I've cycled through a few friend groups in my life, and it is often a case of growing out of the friendship. I grew up around very traditional and conservative friends, but then discovered partying, and those friends just didn't understand that lifestyle. So I found party friends. Then somehow along the way I grew into a conversationalist. I just really enjoyed conversations, and most of my party friends weren't responsive unless we were talking about alcohol and drugs. So I found new friends. I still keep in touch with my conservative and my party friends, but at this stage in life, I'm happy with the friends I have now. We just hang out over a couple of drinks and talk all night. We travel and do activities together. Who knows, in the future I might find that I need different type of friends. For me, I had a really good friend in college who I would hang out with a lot. We would get into a lot of bad situations, serious situations, had developed a really bad work ethic, was getting into fights at bars, lots of drinking, had guns pulled on us by both criminals and police. Thankfully we were always able to get out of those situations without injury or arrest, but that luck was sure to change. I realized when we were together, bad things would always happen, so for my own future I had to stop hanging out with him as much, stop speaking as much. Eventually we just stopped talking altogether. I now have a great job, married, own a home. Those were some real fun times, but I'm glad I'm done with that part of my life and just hope nothing comes back to bite me later on. When the people I thought were my friends stopped talking to me or inviting me to the group activities. We had a WhatsApp group and I realized that nobody was saying anything for a couple of weeks, but in their stories they were all at the lake or at a BBQ. It clicked on me that I was the only one non-invited. I still don't know the reasons why they did it. Even someone I thought was my bestie stopped talking to me. Reasons? I'm still wondering what did I do. Not gonna lie, I was a bit depressed until I realized I haven't done anything wrong, and I don't need that kind of people in my life. True friends should be able to tell you if you did something wrong. I know I should have asked, but right now I'm better off by myself, making new friends and doing fun activities with them. I was currently living with them, and we had plans to move into a new apartment together the next year. We talked about it multiple times, and when we were going to sign our lease, but we never found a time we were all available. A few months go by and there was a good deal at the place we planned to live, so I brought it up to them, and they all just nodded and didn't say anything. I left for work and texted them while I was gone and asked what's up, because they were acting weird. Long story short, they signed a lease with another girl, 4-bedroom apartment. 3 of them plus me would be the 4 people total, and they replaced me because they thought it would be better because the other girl went out drinking with them more than I did. That's when I realized I needed new friends. Hot relationships were deeper than going out to party. When I realized I was the only trying to make plans. Absolutely. I stopped contacting people to see how long it would take for people to reach out. I was amazed at the number of people who left my life. Abandoning Facebook really made me realize how little people cared about anything going on in my life. There's a whole group of people I never hear from anymore. Same. My contact list is now empty other than immediate family, work, and my dentist. Ooh, I know a person like that. And the best part about it is that they always keep saying that the other part should make plans to contact first sometimes, or that. I don't think they realize they themselves are actually the friend who doesn't contact anyone. EUR sent WHEN they abandoned me for some new kid. EUR sent I in 1st grade we were kinda friends. In 2nd, they hated me and told me to go away. EUR sent THEY took advantage of my kindness and stole something from me. It was a pencil box that I got from my aunt. These ones cost about $15 and I had all my markers, sharpers, etc. in it. Some of the markers were even my mom's. She asked if she could borrow them and never gave it back, even when I asked. Supposedly, she lost the key, so she had to smash it to get the markers out. I'm still so mad at her. All of these were different people. When they complained about me hanging out too much with other people, my family, instead of spending time with them, they asked me to skip out on birthday parties, midsummer and Easter, even if I had just met them a day before that. Funny thing is that when I decided to leave them, they begged me to stay because I'm their best friend, and they told me that they don't know what to do without me. Buddies, if you wanna hang out a lot with someone, don't complain when they can't or doesn't want to. Everyone wants some alone time, and it's not cool to ask them to just drop everything they do just to be with you. When my best friend, her boyfriend, and I were discussing some new story having to do with suicidal depression, I made some comment along the lines of sharing the perspective of someone who has struggled with that for years, and then they gave each other a look and said they'd been discussing my mental health and had decided if I was really suicidally depressed then I'd be dead or attempting to the point of hospitalization and permanent damage. Never mind my actual diagnosis. She was the first person I ever opened up to and was the only person I consistently trusted to be there for me. When I realized that the only friend I had was just keeping me around because she felt bad for me, there's no real connection anymore. Luckily for me, I think I can do fine without friends. Hey, from 7th grade till 10th grade I had no friends. No, you will not do without friends, trust me. For me what worked was trying to understand why I didn't have any friends. So after 3 long years of changing and removing most of my bad traits I managed to make friends again. You can do it man woman. I'm sure of it. First you need to know that my parents got divorced and it hit me pretty hard. Since that moment I started losing self-confidence, got lazy, and started hating everybody, and all of my friends did their best to make me feel good. But I behaved like the last idiot. I began to hurt them with my attitude. A few weeks later my friends told me that it wasn't nice of me to behave like that. That was the moment I realized that I couldn't stop being like that, and since I don't wanna hurt them, I need to take distance and find new people to hang out with. When you can barely find anything to talk about or relate to, if only one thing or common ground holds you together, it isn't friendship, it's a coincidence. That's how I feel most of my high school college friendships went. We were friends because of physical proximity. Now even if I try to reach out, it's like we speak 2 different languages. There is no real overlap of interests, so it's pointless to try to go through the motions. Hey, that's my old friend group. Wow, what a perfect description.